Welcome back to the Gossip Historian, where we spill tea like it's 1773. Are you under the impression that you have some skeletons in your closet? Well, let's pull up a seat and let me acquaint you with Saint Olga, the unrivaled drama queen of the 10th century. This lady was far from a saint, especially in her early life. Her existence was a fiery concoction of love, loss, and revenge, sprinkled with a level of scandal that would create an extraordinary tabloid headline. And that's just the beginning of it. So get ready, because Saint Olga's life makes the Kardashians' drama seem like a child's tea party. Olga's wedding bells tolled more like warning sirens. Now let's dive into the meaty part of our story where love, power, and, a tiny sprinkling of assassination come into play. Saint Olga, our scandalous leading lady, tied the knot with Igor of Kiev. A match made in heaven, you ask? Well, not quite. Their marriage was more like a game of chess, with each trying to checkmate the other. Igor was the grand prince, and Olga, well, she was the power behind the throne. Just picture this, folks. You're married to a man who's got an entire city named after him. Sounds pretty cool, right? But there's one slight hitch. Your hubby is more interested in collecting tribute than collecting Husband of the Year awards. Now here's where it gets juicy. One fine day, Igor decides to take a leisurely ride to collect some overdue taxes, leaving Olga to mind the shop. To put it mildly, things didn't go as planned. Igor's tax collecting trip ended up being his last. You see, the Drevlians, the folks owing taxes, were not exactly thrilled with Igor's visit, so they did what any reasonable group of tax evaders would do. They assassinated the taxman. Now imagine Olga's surprise when she heard the news. Oh, Igor's gone to collect taxes, and he's not coming back. Ever. Talk about a plot twist. But don't fret, she didn't spend too much time mourning. Instead, Olga was like, hold my mead, it's revenge time. And boy, did she have a knack for revenge. But we'll get to that in the next scene. In the meantime, let's just say that Olga didn't exactly sign up for a quiet life of weaving and baking bread when she said I do to Igor. It was more like, I do promise to avenge your death in the most creative and terrifying ways possible. And you thought your in-laws were a problem. They say revenge is a dish best served cold, but for Olga it was more like a 10-course banquet. Now let's talk about our girl, Olga. This lady wasn't about to let her husband's murder go unanswered. She was a real ride-or-die biddy. Oh no, she had plans, my friends, and let me tell you, they were more complicated than assembling furniture from that Swedish store. When the Drevlians, the folks who offed her hubby, came knocking at her door with a marriage proposal, Olga was like, sure dudes, just chill in this bathhouse while I think it over. And then, plot twist, she locked them in and set the place on fire. Talk about a response. But Olga, our revenge gourmet, wasn't done. She invited over more Drevlians for a funeral feast. They came, they saw, they drank, and they didn't conquer. They got so wasted, Olga's soldiers could pick them off like low-hanging fruit. Still, Olga wasn't satisfied. She was on a roll, and she wasn't about to let it stop. She told the Drevlians she'd visit their land to mourn her husband properly. And being the trusting souls they were, they agreed. Olga, though, had other plans. She had her soldiers carry boats, and in a surprise attack, torch the city. But wait, there's more. She tricked the remaining Drevlians into thinking she came in peace. She asked for 3 pigeons and 3 sparrows from each house. Sounds innocent, right? Wrong. She tied burning materials to the birds and set them free. The birds flew home, setting the city on fire, so they were pretty much toast. And Olga, she became a saint. You heard that right. A saint. This ride-or-die biddy turned her sorrow into a smorgasbord of revenge, and she served it up cold, hot, and everything in between. She was not a woman to be trifled with. She was fierce, she was ruthless, and she was without a doubt unforgettable. And that, my friends, is how you turn a tragedy into a triumph. Olga wasn't just driven by revenge, she was also a master of the power play. Let's take a moment to admire the prowess of this 10th century power broker, shall we? Olga was a woman who knew how to strategize for the long run. When she wasn't busy thwarting her enemies or setting their strongholds ablaze, she was plotting her next grand move, and her plan was truly grand. Olga decided to convert to Christianity, a decision that wasn't popular in her time and place. But this wasn't a sudden religious awakening. Olga was too strategic for that. She saw Christianity as a means to strengthen her own position and destabilize her adversaries. By converting, Olga was able to ally with influential Christian nations. She was playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. Her power swelled instantly, as her enemies could only watch, likely bewildered and confused. But Olga didn't simply stop at her own conversion. She embarked on a mission to Christianize her people as well, a move that would further cement her power. Despite her people's apprehension, they were probably too fearful to voice their dissent. In this way, our dear Olga not only maintained power, but also expanded it, while undermining her enemies. This was a masterstroke of political maneuvering, a testament to Olga's savvy and tenacity. She was a woman who knew how to play game and play it to her advantage. She was a woman who wouldn't allow herself to be subdued, who wouldn't be conquered. She was a woman who outsmarted her enemies and emerged victorious. Now, isn't that something? Here's to Saint Olga, the queen of power play. And you thought your office politics were intense. So, to sum up, Saint Olga was a woman who had it all: power, revenge, and a whole lot of scandal. Let's take a saucy stroll down memory lane, shall we? We kicked things off with a marriage that was about as stable as a house of cards in a tornado. Olga and Igor, the power couple of the 10th century, until Igor met an untimely end. I mean, who knew tax collection could be such a risky business? Then, we moved on to the main course, the pièce de résistance, revenge, served ice cold. Olga turned into the queen of vengeance, giving a whole new meaning to "hell hath no fury like a woman scorned." She got creative with her revenge plots. Pigeons and sparrows as avenging angels, anyone? And let's not forget her power play. Olga was the woman in charge, ruling with an iron fist and a velvet glove. She transformed from a grieving widow to a fearsome ruler, but it wasn't all doom and gloom. Our dear Olga had a penchant for the dramatic, making her life one scandalous saga. She sure knew how to keep things spicy. From her famous hot tub incident to her not-so-subtle ways of dealing with her enemies, she was the embodiment of go big or go home. And there you have it, the scandalous life of Saint Olga. Makes your daily drama look like a walk in the park, doesn't it? Well, that's the end of our scandalous journey with Saint Olga. We've traveled through her tumultuous marriage, her icy revenge, and her grand power play, all wrapped up in a scandalous package that would make even the most seasoned soap opera writers blush. Thanks for joining me on this wild ride through history. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more juicy, scandalous lessons in history.